Happy Friday, guys. We have made it to the weekend. My name is Quincy Burgess, and I'm a certified faster way to fat loss coach, and I'm currently 8 months pregnant. I'm so glad you guys have joined us. We are thrilled to have you here. We have a great Q&A laid out for you. So much good information, so many questions. I am joined today by my friend and fellow faster way to fat loss coach, Miss Queena.
Hey. So you guys heard from Quincy. My name is Queena Ugochukwu, and I am a certified coach with the Faster Way to Fat Loss. And unlike Quincy, I've already delivered my baby. I am actually 10 months postpartum in my journey with my second son. So as you guys are joining us today, our overall goal that you take away from this session in the Q&A is that you walk away feeling encouraged with the resources and knowledge to know that as a woman, you can be able to live a lifestyle and put yourself first and keep your health first as well, whether you are pregnant or even breastfeeding. And Quincy, if you'll talk about the overall why we came together to do this today.
Yes, absolutely. So Queen and I chat frequently, even though we've never met in real life. We chat frequently just about our journey and where we are and our kids. And a couple of weeks ago, she had asked me how I was feeling, and I was telling her, and she said something that resonated with me, and I have not been able to get it out of my head. She said, Quincy, you know what? I wish I would have had the faster way when I was expecting, because it would have given me some structure. I would not have been going through McDonald's twice a day. And in response to that, I was like, it's funny you say that, because I always say, I wish I would have had the faster way knowledge prior to my first child, because I struggled so much breastfeeding. And looking back now that I have got the education, I coached so many women through their breastfeeding journey, I know what I was doing wrong. I was eating the wrong things. And I know that wasn't the complete reason why I struggled, but that was 90%. I had medicines prescribed to me. I had lactation consultants, but no one ever asked about my diet and what I was eating. So I'm actually really looking forward to this baby to see if it changes, if I can breastfeed easier. And I'm already at the point, if I can't, no big deal. We gonna roll with that formula. We're gonna be okay.
You're rolling, girl.
We gonna roll. But that was just when she asked that question, when she said that, and when, with my response, I was like, I know there's so many other women out there who have these conversations, and maybe you're in that season. Maybe you're in that season of expecting, or you're trying to get pregnant, and you're like, can I do this while I'm expecting? Can I do this postpartum when I'm breastfeeding? And the answer is absolutely. And that is what we are going to talk about some today. I'm going to dive right in to being pregnant while doing the faster way. You guys have sent in questions. We're going to get to those as well. But I wanted to start off by saying, whenever you become pregnant, always consult your doctor. Talk to your doctor. Talk to him about your health and wellness, where you are in your journey, what you're doing, what you're consuming. Every pregnancy is different. Every situation is different. Just make sure that they're aware and communicate with them. That's so important. The second thing that to me that is the most important is your mindset. Girls, ladies, when you're pregnant, you are going to gain weight. It's okay. It's going to happen. I know when I got pregnant with my first baby, that was like, oh gosh, I'm going to gain all this weight. You're so nervous about it. It's to be expected. Embrace it. Enjoy that time as much as you can. But you can have structure. Structure does not equal strict, extreme. You can have structure. You can be flexible. You will have cravings. You'll have cravings you'll give into. You will drive 45 minutes to a neighboring town to get a chocolate glazed donut. I have done that. That's going to happen. The two mindsets that I want you to avoid is, like I said, that first one, like I can't work out like I used to, or I'm not eating all the things I can, that I should be eating, and this is happening, and you feel out of control. You are out of control. Your body for 9 months is not your own. It changes with every passing week. Your
Amen.
Everything changes, and it's like, it almost feels like you're starting over every time a change is made. So you just have to roll with it and do the best you can. I do not want you to feel stressed out. That is not good for you. That is not good for the baby. And I do not want you to feel like you're failing. I've had people message me and they're like, I'm pregnant and I feel like I'm failing. I've fallen off. It, you can do this. It's okay. You're not failing. You're pregnant. It's hard. It's tough. And then the second mindset I don't want you to have is, and I saw this quote actually yesterday and it just grinded my gears. It said, pregnancy, 9 months of cheat days. And that cannot be further from the truth. Like I said, you're going to have those cravings. You're going to give in. It's okay. You don't need to do that all day, every day. Pregnancy is not an excuse to eat like trash. If anything, it's so important at this time to focus on those whole foods to fuel your body, to give you as the mother what you need and give your child what it needs. So listening to your body throughout this whole journey is going to be key. That's another thing I really want to emphasize, listening to your body. Queena, I know you got some questions. Hit me with them, girl. Let's get it.
You're taking us to church, honey. I've just been listening. I'm like, girl, I remember the days. Yes.
You can throw in an amen if you want to.
Girl, I was like, I love it. So we had a list of questions that came in. Thank you so much for sending those in. We picked our top 5 that were the most frequently sent in. And if you have more questions, feel free, as we are going through this live, drop them down below and we will answer them as soon as we see them come in, okay? So Quincy, you ready for the first one?
I'm ready, girl. Let's hear it.
The top question that I saw at least 15 people send in was, can you still intermittent fast while pregnant?
Yes. So let me say this first. Unless you are one of those rare people who have those unicorn pregnancies where you don't experience nausea, you're not sick, you can eat what you want, you're fine. That is a very small percentage. If you are like me, your first trimester is going to be trash all the way around. You can still intermittent fast. And let me say this really quick. My first trimester was terrible. It was awful. So I did not get to implement my faster way strategies until my second trimester. First trimester, you're in survival mode. So yes, after that, I could still do my intermittent fasting. Now, I do make modifications. There are days I wake up, I can do the full 16 hours. I feel great. There are days I wake up and I'm immediately hungry. I have to eat something. Usually, typically, my average intermittent fasting time right now is about 12 to 14 hours. Like I said, some days I can make the full 16, but I do not stress that on myself. I do not try to push through and get through those 16 hours. If I'm hungry, it's time to eat. We're going to eat something.
We don't want Quincy hungry. What is that? Yeah. Hungry? We don't want that. You don't want to prego hungry, huh?
No, but because my body is kind of accustomed to that lifestyle already, it has been maintainable. It has been sustainable. I have been able to do it. Now, something that you will not do when you are expecting is you will not participate in the 24-hour fast. You don't need to. There's no benefit for you at that time. And, you know, in regards to your intermittent fasting, if you need to extend that feeding window, do it, ladies. I know for me, I cannot eat large quantities of food at this point. I have to eat a lot of small meals throughout the day. You still need to get those calories in. You still need to get as close to your macros as you can. You still need to fuel your body. So extending that feeding window is perfectly acceptable.
Yeah, thank you for that. I know that was a question that was asked from a lot of people. So yes, to summarize, you can still be able to intermittent fast, but that 24-hour fast is something that we would not recommend for a woman that is pregnant. All right. So second question, Quincy, that came from a client or someone that was interested in the faster way is, do I need to adjust my macros?
Yes, you will adjust your macros. While you're pregnant, you will not have a weight loss goal in your macro setting. You are not trying to lose weight. If anything, you are trying to gain weight in a healthy way. You have several options. The first is the one I stuck with the longest. It was to maintain the weight you're at. Like I said, I was very, very, very sick my first trimester. So there's no way I would have been able to eat even more when I was able to actually start eating food again. So I set my goals to maintain. Now, since my appetite has increased, you will need to increase your weight gain, your weight gain. You can put it at 0.5 pounds a week. That will give you plenty of macros. That'll give you plenty of calories to make sure that you are fueling your body. You're getting what you need. The baby gets what it needs. And if you are a veteran faster way to fat loss client, chances are you have tweaked your macros at this point. You have talked to your certified coach or one of our macro specialists, and they have tweaked them. You can chat with them, and they may need to tweak them slightly specifically for you. So that is one of the great advantages of being in the faster way while being pregnant, is you have so many options. You can maintain, you can add that half a pound, and if you need that specific tweaking, your certified coach will be able to do that. Again, we are not losing weight when we're pregnant, sister. That is not what we're doing. You are maintaining and you are gaining.
Maintain and gain, maintain and gain. Okay. Okay, so another hot question was, we want to know, behind the scenes, Quincy, have you been able to stick to the carb cycle schedule?
Again, I cannot say this enough. First trimester, no, I couldn't stick to anything. And let me elaborate on that. I threw up all day, every day, even days I could not eat, I would throw up bile. I had to, and I have a pharmacy of nausea medications. It didn't help. I had to start getting IV treatments because I was getting so dehydrated. So I feel like you need to know that in that first trimester, everything was kind of out the window. So if that's where you are right now, it's okay. I promise it's going to get better, and you'll be able to slowly implement these strategies again. And that is exactly what I had to do. Even with the carb cycle, I had to once I was able to eat food and keep it down, I had to slowly start implementing that back. An issue I did have, and especially when you're pregnant, if you are experiencing that nausea, things they tell you to avoid is caffeines and fats. I had a really, really hard time with fats because they do make you sick, and you have to avoid that. If you're eating a few more carbs, if you're eating a few more proteins, there was one night I ate four pork chops. Like that was like the only thing that tasted well that I could digest. But now, especially within that middle of the second trimester and throughout, like where I'm at now, 5 weeks until I deliver, yes, surprisingly, I have been able to stick to the carb cycle, even the low carb days. And you do get more net carbs when you become pregnant. You get 100 to 150. And I still look forward to my low carb days. So yes, absolutely, I have been able to stick to that carb cycle. And this is really a time where I tell people, you do a lot of intuitive eating. If it's a low carb day and I feel like I need a little bit more carbs, I'll eat a little bit more carbs. You listen to your body and give it what it needs.
Yeah, thank you. So another question was, I'm struggling with nausea, food aversions, and also digestive issues. What do you recommend? It seems like you struggle with some of the same things as well, Quincy.
Yes, all of those things, especially I was sick with my first pregnancy, and I had terrible food aversions. And with this one, the sickness was even worse. It was like on steroids. It was terrible. And things that you like, that you are used to, that you're in the habit of eating, they don't taste right. They don't sit well with you. So what I would recommend is still reach for those whole foods as much as possible. But I have so many clients and other people who say, I'm eating a ton of carbs right now. That's just what my body wants. Guys, if that's what your body's wanting at that time, eat it. And in regards to the carbs, I tried my best to avoid those processed carbs. Something that has been my ride or die through both pregnancies has been fruit. Fruit has really sustained me in those times where I was wanting a donut every day or something like that. I just would give my body fruit. I would give them other forms of carbs. And if you're finding that you're nauseated, again, stay away from those fats. That's just going to make it even worse. With your food aversions, do what works for you. It's okay if it is a little carby. It's not going to be the end all be all, because once you get past that part, all of these things happen in the beginning, in that dreaded first trimester. And once you make it past that, you can start implementing, you'll start being able to consume more foods that you were able to before. So that would just be my recommendation. Roll with the punches, do what you can, listen to your body, listen to what it needs, and do your best to focus on that whole food nutrition. You just got to get through, those first couple of months, sister, and you're going to be good to go.
Yeah, I mean, I would completely agree. Looking back on it, I wish I would have had a plan to understand whole foods and how it can be able to nourish me rather than always running to McDonald's, because that was the plan in my mind. I didn't know better, right? So now that you have that knowledge, it's been helpful for you once you've gotten past that first trimester.
Right. And even like with things like pasta or breads, like I did start eating a little bit more bread than I had before. I'd eat like bread and peanut butter, but I would try to get the best nutritional value of bread with pastas. I always substitute my pasta for, because usually you do it like zucchini noodles or something, but I couldn't do the veggie thing. So I would do jasmine rice, which has so much more nutritional value in it than, some processed noodles. So I'd make like spaghetti rice. That's something we did before we got pregnant. So there are ways you can substitute things. And like I said, a lot of people crave those carbs and sugars that first trimester. Try to reach for that fruit. Try your hardest to reach for things that are whole food, that circulate around whole foods.
Yeah. And I mean, once again, you wouldn't have known about the jasmine rice and the nutritional value, et cetera, had you not gone through a program like the Faster Way and been exposed to understanding more about the ingredients and what that looks like if it is overly processed. So that's another just takeaway and tie-in to why it's so important to know about your foods and what they can do for your body as well. Last question. Yeah, last question is, I'm having a hard time exercising. I hear that a lot. I'm so exhausted. I don't have time to exercise. What do you recommend?
Okay, so there are people who can exercise full force well into their 9th month. I am not one of those people. If you have not been doing exercises prior to getting pregnant, now is not the time to start either. Don't try to do anything extreme when you find out you're expecting. If you're having a hard time exercising, like I said, I struggled with this as well because my joints just hurt. I just was kind of achy. Do low impact workouts. Take advantage, if you're in VIP, take advantage of the digital studio. Do yoga, do some bar. This is a great way to stay in shape, to stretch out your body, to give it a workout that's low impact. It's healthy for you. It's healthy for the baby. I did a lot of swimming and just walking, just getting your body moving is so beneficial. It's going to make you feel better. It's going to make your pregnancy feel better. But also, if you're exhausted and you're like, oh, well, today's not a rest day, sister, rest. That is your body. Listening to your body is so key. And when you're exhausted, you're growing a human. That is your body saying, it's okay, take a nap. I've taken like 2-hour naps, because my body needs it. It needs to rest. And, when we're resting, your body has time to focus on so many other things. It can heal, it can repair. Rest is so important, so crucial in the Faster Way. That is something that they, really stress that in importance, because some people are just like 100% all the time, gotta go, and you got to rest sometime, especially when you are expecting. You are growing a human child. You're going to be tired. Rest. But also keep in mind those low impact workouts. And if you can go full force, go. As long as your doctor greenlights it, again, that's where consulting with your doctor, communicating with them what you're doing. Go, do what you can. Do what you can do.
Yeah.
And I wanted to talk through, so let me just review some of these modifications you guys get, and then I'm going to turn it over to Queena to talk all about the breastfeeding. I'm so excited about this. I want to be completely transparent here. I don't want to come across as, oh, this has been easy and you can implement this and and your pregnancy is going to be great. This pregnancy has truly been the hardest thing that I have ever gone through in my life. It has been awful, just with how sick I was in the beginning. And it wasn't a piece of cake just to start implementing strategies back in. It wasn't easy to start, eating vegetables again. I had to take things really slow. I had to give myself grace. I had to focus on that progress over perfection mindset. And I think that's what has made me successful, especially in this last last 2 trimesters, just knowing that I have that Faster Way foundation there, knowing what whole foods are, knowing how I can carb cycle, knowing what to fuel my body with that's good for me and for my baby. It's going, like I said, unless you have one of those just really easy pregnancies, it's going to be difficult. You just have to roll with it. And like I said, give yourself grace. Take it one day at a time. Slowly start implementing those strategies again, those changes. And the thing with pregnancy is, like I said earlier, like you'll be good for 2 weeks and then your taste buds will completely change. Your hormones your body is not your own. Just do the best you can. But again, with those Faster Way strategies, I feel so much more at ease with this pregnancy. And even if I had gained, 80 pounds, if I had something happen and I was swollen, I know after I have this baby, the Faster Way is right there, and I have a plan. I know exactly what to do, and I'm just going to keep on, just keep pushing forward every single day. Let me review really, really quick the modifications, and I'm going to turn it over to Queena because she has got some great information about breastfeeding that I'm super pumped about. So remember, if you are expecting, you will change your macro goals. Do not have a weight loss goal in your MyFitnessPal. Talk to your coach. You can reach out to a macro specialist if you're in VIP and get those macros tweaked. You can increase your low carb days by 100 to 150 net carbs. You can extend that feeding window with your intermittent fasting. And as always, consult your doctor before exercising, doing anything really at all. But especially if you need to focus on those low impact workouts, focus on those low impact workouts. Just get your body moving. It's going to benefit you. And on the days you need to rest, rest. It's not going to hurt anything. It's only going to make you a happy pregnant mama, I promise.